These fighters saying Floyd hating, Floyd hating, Floyd hating. Last time I checked, hating on what? On what?
Meaning he is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay.
I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion.
Floyd Mayweather did not remain silent after hearing Stephen A. Smith's recent remarks suggesting that Terence Crawford ranks above him as a fighter. Still, Smith made sure to acknowledge just how extraordinary Mayweather's career truly was. He pointed out that Floyd battled serious hand injuries during much of his time in the ring, which limited his natural punching power and made knockouts far less common in the later stages of his career. Even with that disadvantage, Mayweather stayed undefeated, repeatedly proving his ability to outsmart and outmaneuver every opponent he faced. Smith explained that this alone highlighted Floyd's brilliance, because without depending on raw power, he continued to control fights and overcome every challenge placed in front of him.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
At the same time, while giving Mayweather his credit, Stephen A. Smith also shared his view on a hypothetical showdown between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. When asked who he would choose in that dream matchup, Smith answered immediately without any hesitation. He said his pick would be Crawford and made it clear he would not second-guess that decision. According to Smith, if that fantasy fight ever became reality, he believes Crawford would have the advantage, showing complete confidence in his choice and leaving no doubt about who he would favor in that situation.
Been avoiding everybody calling it a pick'em fight.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it could go either way, but I'm going to go.
In addition, Stephen A. Smith clarified that although Floyd Mayweather unquestionably belongs among the greatest fighters boxing has ever seen, with elite defense, incredible speed, and a brilliant ring IQ, he still wouldn't rank him as the single greatest of all time. Smith explained that the debate about boxing's ultimate legend is much broader than just one name. He reminded fans that icons like Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, and Salvador Sanchez must also be part of that conversation. According to Smith, Mayweather absolutely deserves tremendous respect for his achievements, but he is not the only fighter who belongs at the very top of boxing history.
He is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay.
Then
I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy, he's just a savant. But I got to look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world. I watch Sugar Ray. I watch Pepino Cuevas. I watch Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Hagler, Mugabe, all of these cats. Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, Salvador Sanchez before he died. But I mean, I come up with that era.
However, Stephen A. Smith made it clear that Terence Crawford represents the modern face of boxing today, the fighter who currently defines the sport. He described Crawford as not only the best active boxer in the world, but also the undisputed pound-for-pound #1 of this era, a distinction he believes no other fighter can claim right now. Smith pointed out that Crawford's achievement of becoming an undisputed champion in the four-belt era was a historic accomplishment that separated him from the rest of the field, proving that he has firmly established himself at the very top of the boxing world.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion.
Boozy Ennis shared a similar view, saying Terence Crawford deserves to be mentioned alongside legendary names such as Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard. In Ennis's opinion, Crawford's greatness comes from his willingness to face every serious challenger placed in front of him. Rather than avoiding risky fights, Crawford stepped in with the best opponents in his divisions and defeated them convincingly. For Ennis, that track record of taking on all threats and coming out on top is exactly why Crawford already belongs in the same conversation as some of boxing's most iconic champions.
Did that put him up there with the Floyds, the Ray
Put him
Leonards?
right there with them all. You know what I mean? They told me he didn't fight with everybody. Nobody. You know, whoever was in front of him, who was in that weight at that time, and he beat everybody. He's great. Simple as that.
Tim Bradley strongly supported that viewpoint, even stating that Terence Crawford would beat Floyd Mayweather if the two had faced each other in their prime years. Bradley explained his reasoning by highlighting Crawford's complete skill set, including his ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances, along with his razor-sharp accuracy. He pointed out that Mayweather has historically had to make adjustments against skilled counterpunchers, recalling moments in past fights where Floyd dealt with tricky southpaws and fast punchers. Bradley believes Crawford brings not only elite counterpunching but also the unpredictability to keep Mayweather guessing throughout the fight. In his opinion, Crawford's size, his ability to change stances, and his attacking mindset would create problems even for a prime version of Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand, the way he reaches with that.
Brian Bomack McIntyre, Terence Crawford's trainer, backed that argument by pointing out that when fans discuss the greatest fighters ever, names like Sugar Ray Robinson and Jack Dempsey always come up. In his view, Terence Crawford deserves to be mentioned in that same company. McIntyre stated with complete confidence that Crawford has already achieved enough in his career to secure a place among boxing's all-time legends, not only as a dominant champion of this era, but as a fighter whose legacy will remain part of the sport's history.
Do you rank him? Should we rank him like that? Is it difficult because, eras?
No, I would say when you say best, name the best fighters ever in the history of boxing, you're going to have to say Ray Robinson. You're going to have to say Jack Dempsey. Then you got to say Terence Crawford. He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Paulie Malignaggi also weighed in on the comparison between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, offering a more balanced perspective. He pointed out that during his prime years, Mayweather faced elite champions and dangerous opponents, mentioning fighters like Miguel Cotto and a young, hungry Canelo Alvarez as key examples. Because of that level of competition, Paulie believes it is difficult to place Crawford's resume on the exact same level right now since he hasn't yet faced opponents of that same caliber. Even so, Malignaggi admitted that if both fighters had met at their absolute peak, a prime Mayweather against Crawford could have produced one of the greatest fights the sport has ever witnessed, a matchup worthy of being remembered alongside historic clashes involving legends like Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson.
Mayweather, I thought, took on some pretty tough 154-pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. Remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. People talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54. So, I don't know, man. The comparison, listen, Crawford, Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been. It's never...
Zab Judah also shared his take on the debate, noting that when Canelo Alvarez claimed Crawford was better than Mayweather, it wasn't an exaggeration. Judah explained that Canelo's opinion carries significant weight because he is one of the few fighters who has faced both men. Having gone up against Floyd earlier in his career and later stepping into the ring with Crawford, Canelo speaks from direct experience. To Judah, Canelo's comparison should be taken seriously, as he fully understands the challenges and skills each fighter brings to the table.
Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, that he know? Yeah. Anybody would know Canelo.
Ryan Clark lavished praise on Floyd Mayweather, describing him as the defining fighter of his generation. He emphasized that Mayweather didn't just win fights. He often humiliated his opponents with impeccable technique, lightning-fast reflexes, and unparalleled mental fortitude in the ring. For Clark, Floyd exemplified dominance throughout the 2000s, representing the pinnacle of skill, control, and precision in an era packed with elite champions.
Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring.
He then turned his attention to Terence Crawford, highlighting how Crawford has firmly established himself among the sport's elite by defeating top names like Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez in commanding fashion. According to Clark, these wins showcase not only Crawford's exceptional talent but also his courage, proving he isn't afraid to challenge the very best. Clark stressed that through these decisive victories, Crawford has left a lasting mark on boxing history, solidifying his place among the greats.
There's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and longtime trainer, offered a more measured perspective, revisiting Floyd's iconic bout against a young Canelo Alvarez. Jeff acknowledged that while Floyd won decisively on the scorecards, the fight also highlighted Canelo's raw potential rather than being a display of complete domination. He explained that Canelo was still very young, developing both his skills and maturity as a fighter. At the same time, Floyd was already at the peak of his experience and ring intelligence. To Jeff, the matchup underscored Floyd's brilliance, but also illustrated how timing can shape boxing outcomes. Floyd was able to fully exploit facing Canelo before the young star had truly reached his prime.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? 20-something? 23, 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game.
Errol Spence Jr. shared his own insight into what makes Floyd Mayweather stand out in boxing history. He highlighted Floyd's exceptional ring IQ and legendary skill set, explaining that these attributes placed him on an entirely different level from almost every other fighter. In Spence's view, Mayweather had a unique ability to control both the mental and physical aspects of a fight, solidifying his status among the all-time greats. He added that while fans can only speculate about how a potential clash between Mayweather and Crawford would have unfolded, Floyd's mental sharpness and psychological advantage would likely have been the decisive factor.
It's a little different because, Floyd's is different. I feel like he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close, 2-3, yeah. And not by far. So, it's just it's a little bit different things that Floyd does, and Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him, and it's just certain things that he does that, you know, that's real tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose and so I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. It's just vetting stuff, just vetting the all-time type stuff he was doing there.
Like Floyd would beat Crawford, would you think? I know that's just a fantasy matchup.
Man, I don't know.
I'm reaching, you know.
I don't get into all that. Yeah. I don't know who went out, Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd.
You know?
I don't know.
But for Floyd was the best work, just like mental games, everything.
Oh yeah, mentally, he by far, I feel like he's the best.
Robert Garcia shared his viewpoint by putting Terence Crawford's achievements into the broader context of boxing history. He praised Crawford's accomplishment of becoming an undisputed world champion, calling it historic and worthy of full recognition. That said, when asked to choose in a hypothetical prime-for-prime matchup, Garcia admitted he would lean toward Floyd Mayweather or even Manny Pacquiao, citing their edge in overall competition and toughness during their respective eras. Still, he emphasized that Crawford has already cemented his place in the conversation of all-time greats due to the significant mark he has made on the sport.
He never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more. In a fight, I probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. Definitely he is.
Shane Mosley drew a comparison between Terence Crawford and one of the few fighters who truly challenged Floyd Mayweather, Jose Luis Castillo. He explained that Crawford's combination of power, long reach, stance-switching ability, and relentless pressure could create similar problems for Floyd. Mosley noted that while Mayweather's defense is legendary, Crawford's constant aggression and versatility might have pushed him into one of the toughest fights of his career. In Mosley's view, Crawford would have been one of the rare opponents capable of genuinely testing Mayweather beyond his comfort zone.
The only person that I see that I can kind of like equate to, and this who I think Crawford would have the edge, is Castillo, when Castillo fought Mayweather the first time. And fights like that, Mayweather has problems with Crawford. Because Crawford hits hard, Crawford's very strong like I am. He has all the same long arms, like I said, southpaw right-handed, and he's coming to get you. He don't care about the Philly defense style, whatever style he don't care about that. He's trying to get you. And he's gonna make sure the combination is gonna be hit. So you have to either hurt Crawford and get some respect or something. But he's gonna be on you. So
we want to hear what you think. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it.